Alright, so now we're going to learn a little bit about normal maps that you probably never learned before, adding them together. We're going to start out with a plane in mud box, and we're going to make a droplet. Okay, so that way we can use the droplet on the ground, and the ground looks like it's got a drop of water hitting it. Okay, that's basically how it goes. So in mud box, you just use the plane that comes with it. So file new, and it has that little plane just like I had, and hit Shift D. And we're going to duplicate or division this up to probably about 1,000,000 polys here. Go to Sculpt. Make sure use stamp images off. Click here just to make sure. And then what we're going to do is just try out the water. Yep, cool. So if it doesn't make a dip, you need to turn invert function off or on until you make a dip. Aha, perfect. So I'm just going to sit here and make a dip. In my top view, I can get this looking pretty good. So when water hits, it's pretty much perfect. I mean, like it hits, it goes into this type of spiel right here. Also, I'll have something like this, where when it hits, it bows in and then comes back out. Now, we'll go like this to the outer regions of this. And make a big old thick version. Now, this takes a couple tries. Don't think you're going to get this perfect. And if you have a Wacom drawing tablet, it'd be a lot better. Because trying to do this with a mouse is really hard. So I need a nice, even so down below, I want to see something. Didn't change anything. So I just focused a little bit more. There we go. That's exactly what I want. Hold Shift to just smooth that out. And then I'm going to pinch that. Pinch until it comes right to a curve or a nice point. Okay, I'll just straighten it out using the grab tool. There we go. Maybe a little bit more pinch with a smaller brush on the very top. With the strength turned up so I'm not sitting here all day doing it. Good. That's exactly what I want. Try not to have anything that is going to mark it to be a repeated pattern. So anytime I have like something like on one side, That's going to make it look like it's repeated, so we want to make sure that doesn't happen. Good. Alright, in order to make this into a normal map, we're just going to go to Maps, go to Extract Texture Maps, new operation. I'm going to call it Normal Map, and we want to do it via subdivision, not raycasting. We also want this to be pretty big. And we'll export that out right into, not my work in progress, because that's my end results. I want something like maybe on my desktop called Weather Maps. I'm just full of word puns today. Oh, yeah. And then I want 16-bit RGB, that one right there. And we'll call this Drop. Okay, should be good to go. Let's extract that one out. We got one more to make too. And it's kind of a turbulence field of some nature. Cool. Alright, I'm done with that. I should check that map just to make sure. Good. Yep, that's what I wanted. Okay, now let's go in here and make one more of those. Don't need to save that. Go back to plane. Divide it up. This time I'm going to use sculpt, but I'm going to use stamp, and I'm going to use this stamp. And I want to put just a little bit of a fine texture on this. Now, if I wanted to do it so it doesn't have like a build-up, I can go down here. Build-up. I could turn this down. There we go. Now it's kind of locked. It only can go so far above, and that's it. So just try to pepper this best you can. And we're just looking for a noise that kind of looks like this. So whatever program or application you're using to produce this, it doesn't really matter. It just has to be a random noise. Kind of like that. Sweet. Okay, let's take that and take that out to a normal map. Again, this always changes back to that 2048 to match the other one. Again, onto the desktop, call it Weather Maps, TIFF, and then we'll call this Noise. Now, in the next video, we'll composition those together to make the map that we need in Photoshop. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, really, you know, at some point in my life, I learned how to composition normal maps, and it was just the sweetest thing you could ever learn because, yeah, there's no limit now. Let's see, open with. Perfect. All right, let's look at that in the next video.